Multiplying square roots. The key thing to remember when multiplying square roots is that you can only multiply numbers if they are both inside the square root or both outside the square root. You cannot multiply a number outside the square root with a number inside the square root, as in our second example here. One trick that I can teach you guys is, if this is multiplying, you might not necessarily have to multiply the two numbers. One thing that you might want to do is just write it as multiplication inside the radical sign. The reason that I do it this way is the second step is that you have to simplify the radical if you can anyway, which means you're going to have to factor it. If I multiplied them together, I'd get 50. The first time I split them up, I'd get 5 and 10. This is just a shorter way. Now I can bring down my 5. 10 is 5 times 2. I have a pair of 5s. Circle the pair. I don't need them both, I just need one of them. If I circle it, it goes outside the square root. If I have anything left over, it goes inside the square root. Leftovers go inside. That's a simplified radical, square root of 5 times square root of 10. The second example is slightly different. I have this 3 on the outside. I cannot multiply these two together, 3 and 45. One is outside, one is inside. So I have to start by simplifying the 45 on the inside. You can simplify this or break this down any way you want. I see it first as 9 times 5, or 5 times 9. I can break down the 9 as 3 times 3. I'm going to bring this 5 down along, so I keep everything in a line here in a row. Okay. Now I have it broken down to its primes. I have a pair of 3s. I don't need them both, I just need one of them. I circled the 3, it comes outside. The 5 is left over, it goes inside. But remember, all I've done is simplify this square root. You have to keep in mind this 3 is on the outside still. A lot of times we forget that. It's 3 times 3. Now these are both outside. I can multiply the two of these together because they're both outside of my radical. 3 times 3 is 9. The square root of 5 doesn't change. I have 9 square root 5 as my final answer.